Alrighty guys, this is Chris back at the studio here. We've got our first computer parts all laid out, starting with the MSI 3070, building with one of those. We're going to be doing an i9-10850K, 32 gigs of RAM, a 500 gig Samsung drive. We're putting it all in a Z590 Master, built in the 011 Dynamic. Let's get to it. Alright, so we're starting off with the Z590 Master. This is a pretty beast of a board. We did it because we really wanted to get the Q-Flash and the clear CMOS. A couple features on board. We've got on board LAN, dual USB 3 here. We've got some USB-C, postcode LED, something that we can work on in our day-to-day that will allow us to work on it, and if we have any issues, we can troubleshoot it pretty easily, take it off. We're not taking too much time out of our day going in to work on the computer here. So we're following up with the 10850. We had the option on the 10900 and the 10850. We opted for the 10850 processor, so it's about 80 bucks at our local Micro Center in Dallas, and we looked it up. It was about 1% performance delta, but because we are using Adobe Premiere, we did want to get the most performance out of the system, so we're going to be using the iGPU, and we can show you guys how to set that up later, basically to where the Intel processor uses the onboard video for the timeline, and the graphics card just kind of helps accelerate everything. Following it up, we do have our Crucial Ballistics Max. Shout out to Crucial, they did send us this kit over. It is RGB, but it is DDR4 4400 megahertz, so it's actually pretty quick. And for the main system that we're building out here, there's gonna be some good fast stuff considering we do need a lot of processor performance. So we do have all 4 sticks on this. So we've actually got this thermal pad down here. Should be able to peel off, there we go. That's going to be for the bottom of the M.2 as well as a top thermal pad also that we'll be able to peel off. So definitely keep this drive nice and cool for when we're doing all the edits. We did already peel that bottom thermal pad cover, get the top one peeled, line this guy back up. There it is. Drop this other screw in. Perfect, cool. So we've got processor, we've got RAM and SSD installed on the board now. So we should be good to go, ready to mount this into the case. Again, we are going with the 011 Dynamic from Lian. They shipped us over a bunch of them. Very modular, as you can see. We've got a bunch of different cable routing for covers here. It keeps all your cables in line. Hard drive mount, power supply comes down here. So we're gonna get this going. Go ahead and just drop the motherboard in place. So take this guy, line it up. Get all the standoffs going. Cool, and we're gonna be putting the screws in. Getting a good screwdriver helps. So gotta get on all these corners. So now the motherboard's mounted. I usually lay it flat to put the board in. I lift it up. We're gonna get started on the cable management. So in this case, like I said, we do have to remove this rear plate. We do have to access all these cables here in the back. There are 2 thumb screws at the top, and what you gotta be careful on is there is one tiny screw down here at the bottom. That one's more of a placeholder one. It's not as sturdy, but it is notched, so we do lift up. Take this guy out, and we've got access to all the cables back here. So they only give you a couple of them here. There's really not a whole lot to this rear section. We do have the front I/O. We've got obviously HD audio, USB 3, and then we do have a USB Type-C connector, which can be great for transferring data and all the footage that we've got when moving from computer to computer. So let's flip this guy around. We're gonna run all the front I/O through, get it into the easiest header there. And loosen up this USB-C cable. We're gonna get this guy in right here just beneath the USB 3.0. It is on a 90-degree adapter there, which is nice. Some motherboards are not compatible with that, so keep that in mind. There are some motherboards that instead of being vertical, the USB Type-C header is actually horizontal instead. I know a number of Asus boards do that. My personal computer here at the office is like that as well. We did have to purchase an adapter. There are some you can get online. So be careful with that for fitment. And lastly, we are going to be running HD audio right over here on the corner. Perfect. All right, so now we already preset the motherboard backplate. So we are going to line this up through there. We do have the posts sticking through, and Cooler Master includes these little spacers. They actually do hold on to the posts that stick through pretty well. Helps you not have to hold it on the back while you're lining everything up, and keeps the space off of the water block mount that does go on top of it pretty well. So we are going to do that. Take our included Cooler Master thermal paste here, apply a little right in through here. We're just going to go for a line method. That should be just fine. And mount the water block right over the top. There it is. Once we've got it on, take our standoffs here. I try to find one that's a little bit more open, make sure everything is fitted on there nice and well. We don't want to get any overheating, especially since these things will be doing a bunch of rendering. This thing's gonna be running at pretty full steam. Want to make sure we're getting the best temperatures possible. Perfect. And we make sure we want to run these cables through. I'm going to opt to route them up through the top, but we are going to do a little snag around the heatsink here. Manage up the cables a little well. See, cables stick nice and out of the way. And got the heatsink mounted in the case. So next we're going to grab some cables here. Grab some fans here. We do want to run these cables through the top. And we're going to run some fan screws in. Let's get the next one cable managed through. Run this guy up. Cool. Put the last screw in the fan. Now we've got all of the fans and the cooler mounted. We do have the cooler fans blowing an exhaust as well as the extra fan up top. And then we do have all the side fans coming in as an intake. So we are all good for the fans. Got all the cables already pre-run. And the last thing is we do have our graphics card cables coming through. Now, I know you guys are thinking, gross ketchup and mustard cables. So we are going to be doing some upgrades, you know, kind of pimping it out, doing some mod parts, things like that. So definitely stay tuned. We are just getting the build up and functional for now. But we have all of the required cables coming out at the moment. Let's go ahead, grab the graphics card, get those installed. We did go with the MSI Ventus. Didn't need anything too crazy. Does get kind of loud when working in the studio sometimes, so audible level wasn't too big a concern. However, this guy is a 3-fan design, so it is going to be a good card we can run. Definitely going to be one of the better cooling designs we've got. And the 3070 on the workload we're running should be absolutely fine. Shouldn't have any issues running the
You gotta leave that in.
Cool, so now that we've got this going, I'm gonna take the graphics card here. We do have to take the 2 screws out on the side. We are gonna be using the 2nd and 3rd slot here. So we've got 1 and perfect. Get these guys out. No cover here. Do want to make sure you get the plastic cover off. I like to take the rear I/O covers out as well. Sometimes they do interfere with the case. So we've got these open. Make sure the PCIe slot cover is open. We are going to insert from here. Clicks in nice and easy. And we take the same screws, put them right back in. Having a good screwdriver does make this handy. Awesome. So graphics card is in. Let's go ahead and run the power cables to it. This will be the last little bit we've got. One and two. Awesome. Graphics card's installed. Let's go ahead and get the 10 gig card out now. Now this 10 gig card is going to be great. We are picking this guy out to install to the build because we do run through our dedicated NAS through work. We are able to send and receive all the footage we need to, and it does use a 10 gig connection because when we are all hitting it, it does use it up pretty well. We do have a pretty fast storage server going. So get this guy installed nice and easy. Way easier than a graphics card, much smaller as well. Nice and easy, and that's it. Now we got to cable manage this guy up, make sure all the cables in the back fit okay, but we've got 3 fans exhaust through the top, 3 fans intake through the side, good triple fan graphics card, liquid cooled system with a 10 gig Ethernet card, looking like a pretty good system. So this is part 1 of our editor PC build. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can check out part 2 where we do our full suite of custom mod parts from backplate to GPU support bracket and even case mod panels. Be sure to comment what you liked in the video and visit our website at v1tech.com, link in the description. This is Chris with V1Tech. Catch you guys in the next video.